Why is Maeve Wiley like Moordale's Hermione? What do Colin Hendricks and Rubus Hagrid have in common? And how does Eric Effiong remind us of Ron Weasley? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Ossa Movies. Let's take a look at some surprising similarities between the characters from Hogwarts and Moordale Secondary School. Lily Eagleheart and Luna Lovegood. It seems like these ladies ended up in a common world by mistake. Extraordinary, odd, eccentric, creative, straightforward. These words could be used to describe both Lily Eagleheart from Sex Education and Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter franchise. Both of their fashion choices are bold and bizarre. Lily prefers wearing multi-layered bright clothes and accessories. She's a huge fan of cosmic cosplay and makeovers, and her unique sense of style goes far beyond her appearance. Just like Lily, Luna's outfits are distinctive too. She often wears odd pieces of jewelry such as a butterbeer cork necklace, dirigible plum earrings, and a pair of specter specs. Luna also often walked barefoot, as the other students would hide her shoes. Both Lily and Luna's faces have a permanently surprised look, which perfectly matches their overall image. Lily draws erotic alien comics and is somewhat disappointed with ordinary life and human boys. Luna was also artistic and painted various things, including portraits of her friends in her free time, and believed in creatures that even the magical world didn't think existed. Moordale's resident weirdo also expressed her creativity by playing in the swing band and directing the student theater's musical. And Ravenclaw's strangest witch proved to be a very amusing Quidditch commentator. Lily Eagleheart is never ashamed to say things that make other people feel uncomfortable. She speaks her thoughts and desires very clearly, even though not everyone is ready to hear them. And having a knack for embarrassing honesty is what made Luna Lovegood stand out from the other Hogwarts students too. Both Lily and Luna are very loyal, supportive, and trustworthy friends. They know how to keep secrets and comfort others.
You can talk to me about anything, you know. Even if you just want to be distracted. I could speak Gamma Valorum to you.
By the way, do you remember the name that Harry and Ginny Potter gave to their daughter? They called her Lily Luna Potter, in honor of their dear friend, Luna Lovegood. Is this a coincidence? Share your thoughts in the comments. Maeve Wiley and Hermione Granger. At first glance, these two characters might seem different. But is there a common denominator between exemplary Hermione and rebellious Maeve? Although their backgrounds differ, both ladies had the same social status. Hermione has two amazing, loving, but ordinary parents with zero magical abilities, also known as Muggles. Because of her family, Hermione started out as an outcast in the world of wizards. Some even called her a mudblood. So she had to work twice as hard to earn her place and became one of the brightest students in the Gryffindor house and a powerful witch. Doesn't this remind you of Maeve's story? She had a bad reputation because of her absent father, barely their mother with addiction issues, and a brother who was always getting into trouble. She was the object of constant bullying and had to make her own way up the social ladder despite the gossip and stereotypes. Both loners, neither Hermione nor Maeve mind solitude, and both are comfortable being in male company. Hermione was a part of a trio with Harry and Ron, while Maeve bonded with Otis and Eric, although Eric quickly stepped away from his third wheel role. Both students are hopeless bookworms. Hermione depends on books and is often found in the library when she needs answers. Maeve enjoys literature, especially unpopular yet progressive philosophy books that no one has touched from the school library in decades. Maeve is a real fan of feminist writers, such as Virginia Woolf, Sylvia Plath, and Jane Austen. In addition to this theory, Moordale's badass stood up against gender bullying, even for the girls who treated her badly. And Hermione is a feminist icon in her own right. Gryffindor's smartass fought not only for female rights, but also for those of house elves, half-giants, goblins, and other oppressed groups. She also became an advocate for muggles in the magic world. Both characters have their own opinions, are bossy and tough, but caring. Hermione and Maeve are intelligent and adventurous. They have bright ideas and would do anything to save a friend. Wiley was the one to suggest a sex clinic, and Hermione created SPEW, Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. Colin Hendricks and Rubus Hagrid. Well, these two are both bearded professors, but is this the only thing that unites Colin and Hagrid? Half-giant Rubus and the rather short Mr. Hendricks are incredibly optimistic, warm, and passionate men. However, they are both insecure and have a deep fear of rejection, which has led to some bad habits. Yes, Eric called Colin an alcoholic, and Hagrid is also known for his fondness of drinks. Mr. Hendricks adores his practice with the swing band, while Hagrid has a great love for magical creatures. And both professors happen to be in charge of students' detention. Because Colin and Rubus are so sensitive, they may burst into tears whenever they feel vulnerable or someone close to them gets hurt. Both professors try to make friends with their students and are not ashamed to ask for their advice. Michael Groff, Lucius Malfoy, and Severus Snape. Mr. Groff has a few similarities with both Lucius Malfoy and Severus Snape. Being the headmaster, he has power over the students just like Snape does. And they share a harsh, authoritarian attitude. Lucius is also a powerful and influential figure in the Ministry of Magic. Snape and Groff are both complicated, withdrawn characters who hide their emotions. As typical loners, they have no friends and distance themselves from other people. What do you think? Will we see Mr. Groff show an unexpected side of himself in Season 3? Well, that's what we saw with Snape and Potter anyway, so let's hope that Groff is not all bad. Groff is also excessively strict with his son, Adam, which reminds us of the father-son relationship the Malfoys have. Groff and Malfoy are both social climbers who treat people cruelly, mess with their lives, and only become courteous when they need something. Still, both Michael and Lucius do their best to look good in the eyes of management. Eric Effiong and Ron Weasley. One of them has infinite charm and a bold sense of fashion, while the other wears hand-me-downs and rarely tries to impress anyone. But are Eric and Ron really that different? First things first, the Effiongs and the Weasleys are large, loud, and sweet families who are very welcoming, caring, and accepting. Each family has some strong beliefs. The British Ghanaians are very religious, they go to church and pray before meals, while the pureblood, red-haired Weasleys are wizards who support and want equality for muggles and half-bloods. Both Ron and Eric are targets for bullies. Eric suffered from Adam's aggression because of his sexual orientation, and Ron was called a blood traitor and was teased for being poor by Draco Malfoy and his gang. Both characters are passionate about their hobbies. Eric tries his best to fit in with the swing band, and Ron enjoys Quidditch, although sometimes their abilities suffer from their nerves. Ron and Eric both have a sarcastic sense of humor and are incredibly brave and strong. These guys are right-hand men to Harry and Otis, supporting them in everything and proving themselves to be loyal, even in the face of conflict. Both gentlemen have short tempers, but they learn to stand up for themselves, their friends, and their families. As for their love lives, these two appear to have experienced the same twists and turns. Ron was flattered by Lavender Brown's attention and started dating her without particularly liking her. He already liked Hermione, so his relationship with Lavender was more to make Hermione jealous. Eric started dating Raheem because he had never had affection from a guy before. Still, his thoughts kept wandering back to Adam despite their weird bond. The Untouchables and Draco Malfoy's gang. A popular group of bullies is present in both Hogwarts and Moordale. In the Wizarding School, most of the bullies were found in the Slytherin house. Draco Malfoy surrounded himself with other Death Eater's children, such as Vincent Crabbe and Gregory Goyle. Draco, the wealthy, pure-blood wizard, used his status to dominate and humiliate others. Malfoy's gang literally terrorized the younger students and loved bullying Muggleborns, poor students, and blood traitors. So Ron and Hermione were perfect targets for them. The Untouchables gang of Moordale are rich, popular students who lead wasteful lifestyles and consider themselves to be better than the others. Their tacit leader, Ruby Matthews, is probably the meanest girl at school. She's rude to everyone, including her own friends, Anwar, Olivia, and sometimes Amy. This gang loves parties, gossip, and trends. They rule and impose their views on others. The Untouchables are constantly making fun of everyone. Ruby kept calling Maeve by a cruel nickname even after Maeve helped her. Otis Milburn and Harry Potter. What unites a bespectacled super wizard from JK Rowling's universe and a strange teenage sex advisor? In addition to being the central figures of their stories, these guys have quite a few similarities. Milburn and Potter are both thin and pale, making them seem weak, although that is not true. Both Otis and Harry are very modest, introverted people who try to avoid social attention and even wish to be invisible. Neither Milburn or Potter make friends easily and tend to stick around those who approach them first. Thus, Harry found himself connected to Hermione and Ron, and Otis has bonds with Eric and Maeve. Hogwarts Star and Moordale's Grey Cardinal are the products of their parents' unusual legacy, which unwittingly made them very popular. They don't have siblings, so they fully absorbed everything they received from the family. Potter, the boy who lived, has a distinctive scar on his face and is marked with the incredible power of love. And although his tragic story made him an orphan with a complex heritage and tons of fears, Harry became unique and almost invincible. Milburn, the sex kid, received his weird gift from his parents, who are both sex therapists, and it too is both traumatizing and empowering. His extensive knowledge of sex and relationship psychology came from his parents, Jean and Remy, and with the help of a friend, he learned to use this knowledge and even make money off of it. Harry's lack of confidence developed from growing up with the Dursleys, and Otis got the same issue from not having his father around. So yes, both characters would make invaluable subjects for therapy. Otis acquired an undiagnosed form of PTSD which affected him in later life, while Harry displayed many signs of clinical depression. General discontent, hopelessness, mood swings, guilt, nightmares, irritability, and social isolation are all symptoms that both characters experienced. Harry and Otis are well-mannered and they tend to apply ethics and morals to most life situations. As JK Rowling once said, "I see Harry as someone who is struggling to do the right thing, who is not without faults, who acts impetuously as you would expect someone of his age to act." Otis feels extremely uncomfortable when he has to act deceitful and is unable to break the rules. Both protagonists are extremely loyal to and protective of their loved ones, although their tempers can hurt the people closest to them. Otis and Harry eventually transform into courageous men who strive for independence. So, have you noticed any of these similarities? And can you find more parallels between Hogwarts and Moordale? Share in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.